I'm Gusto's Chief Design Officer, and I also lead our core experiences teams here at Gusto. I've been at Gusto for a little bit over 2 years, and before joining, I was at Shopify for about 4.5 years as a Senior Director of UX, leading platform and core merchant experiences. And throughout my career, I think the real trend is that I've always been drawn to working on products that serve small businesses. When I was at Facebook a long, long time ago, I even worked on early pages and ads. And so this has just been a real theme in my career. And I think the thing that I'm drawn to really is when I think about all the places that I've visited or lived and loved to be in, it's always with memories of the small businesses. It's the little restaurants, the little bars, even the little service companies where I felt really welcomed and part of the community. And at Gusto, what I'm really excited about is the fact that we have an opportunity here to take experiences that are really, really complex and complicated, and really simplify them and make them much easier to use and understand for people. Okay, so let's start by just collectively acknowledging what an amazing amount of change that we have all lived through in the past several years, and that we continue to live through today. Everyone in this room has likely faced some big challenges and existential questions since 2020, and I know I am no exception to that rule. Both the size of the change and the rate of change have been a lot, and they are really continuing to shape and influence our lives. The changes introduced from COVID and resulting shifts in society are also still playing out for us, and we're continuing to navigate what they'll mean going forward. Small businesses in particular have had to grapple with huge questions that present as both threats and opportunities in key areas of their business. They need to dig into how to best serve their customers given so much change with questions like, how have my customers' expectations changed? How am I adapting to their new needs and ways of doing business? The way great teams are built has also shifted irrevocably, forcing us to ask questions like, should my team work together? Should we be in person? Should we be remote? Should we be some weird combination of all of those things? And how does my prior talent strategy serve me in this new world? So these challenges are fundamental shifts in how we work, and they also play out in the statistics. And I'm sure none of these stats are going to surprise any of you, but they're worth reiterating and grounding ourselves in, given their material nature and implications. So as of July 2023, the unemployment rate was only 3.6%. And this is the lowest unemployment rate in over 150 years. And you all know that this presents major challenges for companies who are looking to hire. This is an important opportunity for you all as accountants, which I'm sure you know, because it means that your clients need to rethink their approach to finding, hiring, and retaining great talent. And the fact is that this shift is already happening. 78% of startups and SMBs that have formed in the last 3 years are already working remotely or hybrid with teams that are spread across geographies. This presents unique challenges and opportunities for all of us. It means that we need to figure out how to work and effectively support teams who may be located anywhere. And it also opens up the potential to expand your hiring pool. So as SMBs are navigating all of these changes, and as you're all helping them do that, there are 3 main challenges that we are thinking about and that I think you should all be thinking about. So one is that some pre-pandemic business models just don't work anymore, or they're dying. Businesses that will continue to pivot and change are the businesses that are thriving, and I think the businesses that are stuck in old models are struggling. 2, many SMBs are in new territory, just in terms of how they operate successfully as their customer expectations have shifted. And 3, the job market is such that it's really just so important to retain great talent because it's harder than ever to fill open roles. And so this means that businesses with strong performance management approaches, benefits, and other employee-first approaches are just in a much better position to attract and retain top people, and I think you're going to hear more about that later today. And you're not alone in this. I can tell you that Gusto has also struggled with some of these challenges over the last few years, and we haven't always gotten it right. Thanks in large part to your partnership, as Talithia mentioned earlier, we've seen our customer base grow over the last few years. But it's been a journey, and honestly, we are still figuring out how to learn and adapt to meet these changes and the growth in a way that serves you, your clients, and our business as the world continues to shift. And we know that while technology is part of the answer to some of these challenges, it also presents its own obstacles. The software that we all use to get our work done, it's fragmented, it often doesn't play well together, And it uses confusing and sometimes conflicting user flows, mental models, and language. It can be really hard to figure out how to use it. And it can actually be a full-time job all on its own. If you're one of those people who is using 10 different pieces of software, you're probably spending a ton of your time trying to figure out how to use it all together. And much of it is just way too complex. The history of enterprise software assumes that you have no choice but to use the software. It is not actually designed with your needs in mind to be easy to use and simple to use, or certainly not delightful. And lastly, there's a human component to all of this. We know that technology is not always going to save us, and that sometimes there is something that you just need human help with. And most technology just isn't designed to consider that full software to service experience. So we've also heard you very clearly over the last couple years, and we know that we've got work to do to improve on this ourselves. We're going to share more specifics in a few minutes with Karen about what we've done, the progress that we've made so far, and also all the ways that we're working to improve our support experience. So you're going to hear more about that soon. But the result of these technology challenges is that businesses often spend too much time trying to cobble together point solutions to run their business that are unintuitive, that don't work together, and it's really on the business owner to just try to figure out how to make it work, and we really need to aspire to better than that. So at Gusto, we aspire to be your partners in navigating these changes, which means we need to be as many steps ahead as possible. And so now what I'm really excited to do is walk you through some really specific things that we're working on related to our people platform vision so that you can understand how we're addressing all of these problems that I've mentioned so that we can better support you and your clients. Okay, so these are some fancy words. Our vision for Gusto's people platform is to provide an integrated and cohesive system that offers the flexibility businesses need to grow and adapt in a changing world. So there are three main themes that we're using to plan, prioritize, and focus our teams because we think they are the most critical opportunities to better serve you and your customers, your clients. So first, we're tackling this problem that we spoke about earlier about fragmentation head on by bringing just a wide breadth of solutions and integrations together under our Gusto platform. We believe really strongly that our system of record for employee data can be leveraged to really streamline these experiences for you so that you don't have to try to stitch them together across payroll, benefits, tax compliance, and more, so that you and your clients know that your data is always accurate and that it's being propagated automatically across all of your most important jobs to be done. This will enable you to streamline your operations, have high confidence in the accuracy of your information, and so that Gusto can continue to improve on our recommendations and guidance to give you proactive and guided feedback so you always feel prepared. Second, we know that we have more to do to simplify the user experience. Gusto has always used consumer software design principles and not those enterprise design principles that I mentioned earlier, because we really do believe that running payroll, offering benefits, and other HR tasks should be dead simple. We know that people using Gusto, all of you and your clients, are busy, and that the domain and workflows we're enabling can be complicated. We don't want to pass that complexity on to you. So as your business needs become more complex, our aspiration is that Gusto should become even easier to use, not harder to use. And again, we know we've got room for improvement here, and I'm going to share some specific product work that we're doing that is seeking to address some of this. And finally, we know how critical service is, and we're continuing to invest heavily in the integration between our software to service teams and experiences using AI and other leading technology so that customers who need help, when you call in, you can get support quickly, accurately, every single time you call in. In a few minutes, I'm going to welcome up Karen Fuller, who's going to go into some more detail there and share specifics about the progress we've made and our commitments going forward. But before we get to Karen, I'm going to share just a few more examples of work that we're doing today and share some of the things that we're going to ship this fall that you can look forward to. All right, so to touch on fragmentation for just a couple more minutes, our ability to reduce fragmentation and really streamline the experience, even as we add more capabilities, is possible in large part because of the data that employers put inside of Gusto about the contractors and the employees that work for them. So TK mentioned this, but over 300,000 employers are managing their employee and contractor data inside of Gusto. And this really gives us a bird's eye view on trends and enables us to really spot emerging opportunities early so that we can be designing ahead and keeping you ahead and one step ahead of everything that's happening in the industry. This year, we've been working to ensure that the way that data is stored and used by our teams is cohesive and consistent. So for example, at a basic level, we're making sure that critical information is structured in the right way in our system, shared across all of our features, and always up to date. We know that having a source of truth for data, like the, for example, address and working location of an employee, is really important because so many state tax and payroll implications hinge on it. Investing in a cohesive, future-proof architecture for our data and code base is critical to our ability to provide you with smart, personalized products that really feel like they're custom-built just for your needs and the needs of your business. And we've heard you that hiring is challenging, and it's a huge priority for you and for your clients. And you want to be able to hire wherever there is the best talent at the most cost-effective price. So you need help unlocking talent across borders, and we're rapidly expanding our support for international contractors and employees, reducing that fragmentation so that you can pay all of the people that you need all inside of Gusto in one place. And Ingrid is going to go into some detail about that for you in a second and share some specifics. Another tangible area of investment where we're making significant progress on reducing fragmentation and simplifying this year is payroll. Payroll has been at the heart of Gusto for over a decade, and we know that our current payroll experience isn't keeping pace with the growing complexity and compliance requirements that businesses are grappling with. So you are going to hear next up, actually, from our payroll experiences app lead, Liran, and she's going to walk you through all the details of this. But in the meantime, it is my privilege to introduce you to Worksheet. This is a new and powerfully simple way to run payroll that gives customers a clearer picture of their data, reduces steps, makes errors clearer and easier to spot, and that will scale in its ability to accommodate more kinds of information, all without passing complexity onto you, the customer. So we're super, super excited about this new approach to payroll and to just share more details about it with you in a second. We're also working to enable collaborative payroll. We know that in most companies, payroll is not done by just one person. Even really small companies, it's often done by multiple people. And so making the payroll experience collaborative will actually empower people to run payroll in a way that reflects the way that they actually work outside of Gusto in the real world. So as a result, payroll will feel faster, simpler, more powerful, with all the data payroll admins need in one place to help them get their work done while maintaining that confidence and accuracy, which we know is the most important thing. Next up, automations. We are acutely aware of how many different tasks you and your clients need to keep track of, especially if you're hiring across borders, and the stakes are high if something is missed. Traditionally, we have grouped a lot of our compliance tasks all at the end of the year. So you're sort of working to kind of keep up and keep on top of things all at one time. And we're moving away from that towards an approach that we think of as always-on compliance powered by automations. Because Gusto is built on that shared platform with that shared data structure, we can leverage the data and the intelligence that we have about compliance requirements to automatically run checks on critical data or to surface compliance tasks when and where you need them proactively, not just all at the end of the year when we're going to give you a big list of things to do. So, for example, if an employee changes their address to a state where the business has never operated before, as you all know, there are important tax implications to that. And we're going to make sure that we remove the guesswork and make sure that you and your clients understand what you need to do when, and again, not sort of wait till a certain moment in time during the year. Okay, next up. So as we think about opportunities to simplify the user experience, we're focused on making sure that our underlying workflows, again, really match the ways that people are working outside of Gusto. So we've had a lot of feedback that our current roles and permissions are too inflexible. And what they do is they tend to force admins to either give somebody way too much access or not enough access. And as a result of not enough access, the admin needs to do a lot more work themselves. So our new roles and permission system, which we've got a little screenshot here, it's going to be shipping this fall, and it enables more granularity and control while balancing some smart defaults. So if you don't need that complexity, if you don't need that customization, you don't really have to worry about it because there will be smart defaults in place. But for those who need more customization, it will be available to you. We're also working on a new audit trail feature, so you know who did what and when. Imagine! Thank you. Starting with payroll audit trails. So this is going to obviously give you and your clients a ton more visibility into what's happening and help you avoid some of the guesswork. Okay, and then the last thing I want to call out is the way that we're using automations and AI to speed up and simplify repetitive tasks. For example, one of the things that we're exploring with AI is the ability to extract meaningful reporting data from Gusto to drive more visibility and great decision-making using a simple natural language-based query. So for example, you could ask, how much did I spend on payroll last quarter? And get the information and data that you need rather than having to fiddle with a bunch of columns or search parameters. And as Talithia mentioned, Eddie Kim is going to be speaking more about this in a few minutes, and he's going to share sort of how we're thinking about AI and the opportunities there. We are also working on ways that you can use automations to create what I think of as recipes for tasks that you have to do over and over again. So, for example, if you regularly hire people in Arizona and you know that there are 5 things that you always have to do every time you hire someone in Arizona, you shouldn't have to do those 5 things manually every time. You should be able to create a recipe, and when we detect that you've hired a new employee in Arizona, Gusto should be able to take that work from you and run those tasks automatically. These are just a few examples of what we're working on, and there's a ton more that you're going to hear about throughout the day. I'm really excited for you to hear directly from some of our product leaders. And now, to talk a little bit about service, I would like to welcome Karen Fuller onto the stage. She is our head of engagement, and she's going to talk a little bit about what her and her team have been working on. Karen?
Thank you so much, Amy. As Amy said, I am Karen Fuller. I'm the head of engagement to serve and support each of our over 300,000 customers and you as our critical partners. I have been in the industry for more than 15 years, very much enjoying the journey that has brought me to Gusto. I came to Gusto, as Talithia had shared, with 15 years at Paychex, but couldn't be more proud of the commitment Gusto has made, bringing to life tools and technology that enable you to support your customers and our mutual clients. We know just how important timely support is when needed, and it's an area that we've fallen short in the past. We are doubling down in order to ensure you and your clients have the help that you need on your terms and your timeline. We now support, as I said, over 300,000 customers, and we've learned a thing or two along the way. We are innovating on our service design at scale and supporting both online and offline needs. This is meaningful work to continue to elevate the service that we provide to you. We've shifted our approach from a generalist model to one of specialization. Leveraging enhanced tools and technology, we are positioned to ensure that each interaction is supported by a skilled partner to your business. This shift to specialization has enabled us to improve our speed to answer, no more long waits, email or phone, and more importantly, speed to resolution, because it's really about fixing the reason that you reached out to us, not just waiting to connect with us. And on top of that, we've reduced the number of repeated touch points for you and for our customers. And just how important it is that you have the support when you need, where you need, and how you want it. We heard that loud and clear specifically on our hours of operation. And I know that our East Coast partners haven't always had the support that they needed in the hours that were most convenient to them in supporting their business. Well, with that, I'm so excited to share with you that we've expanded our hours of operation, effective now. We are now open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or for those of us on the East Coast, like myself, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do want to highlight that this initial transition is for each of you today. We look forward to expanding that to all customers in the future, but our priority is the partnership that we have in enabling your success. So we've heard that feedback, applied it, and really excited to bring that to life. So, should you come across a challenge at any point, our team of experts are here to be at your side and blur the lines between technology and service support, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we know that you care the most about your clients and the experience that they have to ensure that it builds trust and confidence in the service that you provide, and we play a critical role in that. As a result, in the last year, we've invested in and focused on what you've told us you care the most about in addressing those challenges that I mentioned before. Let's talk a little bit about what that actually looks like. So this is where TK kind of set it up, and y'all gave me a nice little soft, it's getting better. I still hear you. We got work to do, and I'm committed to make sure that happens. But at the onset, since the beginning of the year, just January, we've reduced 65% year-over-year reduction in tax resolution open cases. That's a big deal. Just a little bit. We've also reduced our average speed of answer, so how long you're waiting, whether it be for a phone call or a response to an email, because the reality is you have somebody waiting on you, by over 62%. We still have work to do, but long gone are the times that you're going to be waiting for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes that you'll see with some of our competitors. Our average speed of answer is now well below a minute and a half. On top of that, we've seen a 37% year-over-year decrease in engagement case time to resolution. Again, it's not about acknowledgement. Many of our competitors will talk to you about how quickly we're going to go, got it, on it. What I actually care about is how quickly are we solving it for you. And 37% year-over-year decrease in engagement case time to resolution. Incredibly proud of that. Now with that, you have an opportunity throughout the day to partner with many of our team members. We're here to continue to hear your feedback. We are committed to showing up every day to help support you to unlock the potential of your business and our partnership. So please continue to bring the feedback forward, and we'll continue to evolve and grow alongside of you. And with that, back to you, Amy.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, Karen has only been at Gusto for about 5.5 months, and the impact that she's already had here has been just astonishing. We're so lucky to have you, and thanks for the great work that you keep doing. All right, so I am now going to sum it up. I hope that you're feeling that there's a lot to be excited about, and there's more to come. Our teams are really focused on meaningful investments. We really want to do our best for you and make some step changes both in our product experiences and our service experiences. And we know that there's a lot more to do, and we are really working hard to earn your trust every single day.
My name is Kelsey Moreda. I'm the founder and fearless leader of Dope Cookie Dough. We make edible and bakeable cookie dough. It's super freaking delicious, but we're also on a mission to break the stigma around mental health and addiction recovery. The business has changed a lot over the years. We started with a scoop shop concept, and then in 2020, our e-commerce business had taken off. We're in select Costco's and Targets and Walmart. So all to say the needs of the business from a staffing perspective have changed quite a lot as the business has evolved and grown. We have people all over in Georgia, Florida, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Washington, and all over the country. Gusto has been the most helpful to us with what you've offered around benefits, being able to offer benefits as we've moved into a remote workforce. It's really challenging for a small business like ours to understand the intricacies of benefits in all of these unique states. So to have what's really a one-stop shop for us to make sure that everything is following the right regulations and we've got the best plans for our employees to choose from regardless of where they are, that's been a huge benefit for us. Having technology-enabled HR solutions like Gusto brings to the table for us gives Dope access to an all-star level of HR services that we wouldn't otherwise be able to access. So more affordable opportunity for us to focus on what really matters, selling the dough and making some impact along the way.
So I hope, like me, you're feeling really optimistic about our partnership, the progress that we're making together, and that you're excited about what's to come. Thank you so much. That's all for me. Super excited to be here. Come find me later.